Welcome to the self-guided course on configuring a progressive and GM Atlas on the Table Master Quartz. This course must follow the TMQ software course, as the installation and configuration of software must be part of the progressive configuration. In this course, you will learn how to configure a progressive setup. You will learn to complete the GM Atlas Express install. You will also learn how to troubleshoot the TMQ during a progressive and GM Atlas configuration. To configure a progressive, complete this step during the configuration of the master terminal during pay table configuration. You must complete this step at the proper time in order for the right options to be available during the rest of your configuration. To add a progressive to the game, tap the Progressive drop-down list. Select the Blazing Sevens or Royal Match option. In the Progressive Name Side Bets section, type the Progressive Server IP address in the Progressive Server Location field. In the Progressive Site Code field, type the value used to configure the GM Atlas. The Progressive Table ID must match the Progressive controller assigned to the Quartz table. This ID is unique based on denomination and must not be used for multiple controllers. A Progressive Table ID mismatch results in an error for all player terminals and requires an NVRAM clear for reconfiguration. Type the Progressive Table ID in the Progressive Gaming Table ID field. Type the denomination in the Bet Denomination Credits field. The denomination field can be configured only once and in multiples of 100, between 100 or $1 and 10,000 or $100. You will click Continue once you have completed this screen. Express installations are intended for standalone sites that have 20 tables or fewer, use the EmbedTech PIT PC running Windows 10 and SQL Express, have Chrome version 75 installed. The installer is supplied in the package. The script will stop at the user interface if version 75 is not installed. And have all script files, installer.exe files, and the default sign template zip file in the same directory. Note, the GM Atlas Express installation is for a standalone site and is not for a WAP configuration. These diagrams will guide you in setting up a network for a single table or for multiple tables using a GM Atlas server. To connect multiple TMQ tables to the same GM Atlas server, the following changes to the single table configuration must be completed. An additional switch is required to connect the multiple master terminals to the GM Atlas server. Each master terminal should connect to the third switch using an Ethernet cable, which is plugged into the Ethernet 1 port. Ethernet 1 is the rightmost Ethernet port on the backplane of the cabinet. Each master terminal requires configuration to a unique static IP address via the operator menu IP setup screen for the Ethernet 1 port. The GM Atlas server also needs to connect to the third switch. The IP of the GM Atlas server should be configured to avoid conflicts with the already connected devices. The progressive server location setting for all master terminals should be set to the static IP address configured for the GM Atlas server. All tables connected to the same GM Atlas server must have unique values for their progressive gaming table IDs. For example, if the GM Atlas server had an IP address of 192.168.0.100, the first master terminal can be assigned the IP 192.168.0.101, and the second master terminal in a TMQ back-to-back can be assigned the IP address 192.168.0.102. To begin the Express installation, power on the server, set the date, time, and time zone to match the Quartz terminals. Insert the provided USB with restricted files into the GM Atlas server PC. Go to Start, Computer. Go to the Restricted Files USB folder. Right-click and copy the restricted files. Go to the C Scripts folder, paste the files into C Scripts, right-click Quartz Atlas Express Install Zip. Click Extract All. Open the Table Progressive System Configuration Data Common PSD1 file. Edit the following fields as needed. Do not modify any other credentials unless otherwise specified, then save the file. Open a Google Chrome web browser. Go to the three dots in the upper right corner, then Help, About Google Chrome. This window will display. Check that Google Chrome is version 75. Any version other than 75 will cause an issue. Version 75 of Google Chrome is on the USB provided. Do not connect the server to the internet to update the browser version. Go to Start. Search for PowerShell. Right-click PowerShell. Select Run as administrator. Open the readme.txt file. This window will display. Copy the following lines from the readme.txt file and paste the lines into the PowerShell application window, hitting the Enter button on the keyboard after each line. The script automatically starts. When the script stops, check the log and make sure that there are no error messages in red text. If there is red text in the script log, repeat the steps beginning at checking the Google Chrome version. If the issue persists, repeat all steps. If the issue still persists, refer to the Troubleshooting section in the Field Service Guide. Next, use these instructions to change the Transport Layer Security TLS settings. Go to Computer, Windows C, Program Files, Scientific Games, Table Progressive Services, Table Progressive Service. Select SG Progressive Table Host EXE Config. Search for App Settings. Before App Settings, type this. Save and close the file. Go to Computer, Windows C, Program Files, Scientific Games, Table Progressive Services, Progressive Core Service Site 1. Select SG Progressive Core Host EXE Config. Search for App Settings. Before App Settings, type this. Save and close the file. Next, configure IdentityServer to authenticate the Table Master Quartz system. Authentication is necessary for progressive auto configuration. Use Google Chrome to open a browser on the progressive server. Type in this address, where you will type the terminal's IP address in place of localhost. Click the Login button at the top right corner of the page. The login does not require any credentials because it is local. Go to Clients, New Client. Type in the following information. Client name, ETG client. Client ID, ETG.client. Click Create. Click the Edit button. For the listed properties, type in the pictured values and click Set after each value. Complete the following steps in the Client Secrets tab. Select the SHA-256 checkbox. In the Add Client Secret field, type Shared Secret. In the Value field, type ETG Secret. Click Add. Complete the following steps to create a new scope. Click Scope from the menu on the left side, select New Scope. In the Name field, type ETG Web API. Click Create. When this window appears, click All Scopes from the menu on the left side. Click the Edit button next to the ETG client profile. The Scope Properties screen displays. Select the checkboxes next to Emphasize, Enabled, Include All Claims for User, and Required. In the Type field, type in 1 and click Set. Return to the ETG client and add the newly created scope. Click Clients in the left panel. Click All Clients, click Edit. Go to the Scopes tab, type ETG Web API, click Add. After completion, default values appear for Mega, Major, and Minor jackpot fields on the game display. If values do not appear for Mega, Major, and Minor jackpot fields, check the following items. Check that no red text appeared in PowerShell during the script installation. Make sure that all restricted files are installed. Confirm that the time on the GMAtlas server PC matches the time on the master terminal. Verify that all 3 TPS databases appear in Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. If you need further assistance, consult the TMQ Field Installation Guide or contact product support. If the GMAtlas server is not working properly, you may have to uninstall the GMAtlas server from the host PC. Here's the process. Log into the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Open the Databases folder. Right-click and delete these databases. On the host PC, go to Start, Control Panel, Programs and Features, Uninstall or change a program. Right-click and uninstall all programs published by Scientific Games. Restart the server PC. When you reinstall the GMAtlas server on the server PC, make sure the date, time, and time zone all match with the Quartz terminals. The end. Thank you for learning with us.